Hey, how you doing? I am having technical difficulties over here, trying to figure out life. I'm trying to get live on one and can't get it. That's okay. Okay, I'm still waiting on people to come on in. So y'all come on, come on. Like, share, so that way they can come on too. I don't want nobody missing out on nothing. Okay, I can't figure it out, y'all. So on Instagram, it will not let me go live. I tried. Mm, I don't know. If y'all know, put it in the comments because it's not working on this iPad. All right. All right. Well, we gonna keep on going. I can't figure it out. So y'all, if y'all are on Instagram waiting to talk to me, the iPad will not let me do it. I tried. I promise. I've been trying for the last 5 minutes. It will not let me go live. It's letting me only post a story or a regular post. It is not letting me. Y'all know how to fix it? No? Okay. Um, so let's do this. Hey, if you are on Instagram and you cannot see me because it will not let me go live, then make sure that you tune in on YouTube for Real Resilient Conversations or on Facebook because it will not let me do it. I see y'all in a little bit on the other platforms. And it's froze. Okay, I ain't gonna worry about it. Y'all here, so we gonna press on with the ones that made it. That work? All right. So my iPad crashed on me. That just means that it's time to get a new one, is what I'm thinking. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. And I do apologize if you hear something in the background. I have a new house guest, so still working out details. All right. So it is Monday. How y'all doing? Welcome back. I know y'all like this girl got costumes for days. I do. I do. So welcome back. I have been trying my best to figure out how to fix this whole iPad situation. It is not working. So we just gonna press on with what we got. It's always something, right? Always something. You got to be prepared. Happy Monday. Welcome back, my R2Cs, my Real Resilient Conversation crew. It's Monday, Monday, Monday. I hope you are excited to come back for your mid-month fill-up. I feel so bad that I'm not able to share this with my Instagram folks. So, um, gosh, I feel so bad. I'm so sorry, y'all. It is just not letting me do it. So I just want to thank those of you that were able to join in. So whether you are watching it live on rebroadcast or this is your first time, I welcome you, welcome you, welcome you. I am your host, Quita Quee. I am honored that you have taken the time out on your Monday to join me. So what I do is use quirky, unique topics, and I find ways to discuss um, how to have them how to have you look at life with different perspectives and different lenses in order for you to become a more resilient you. So, and that all that is the bounce back factor. So all I'm trying to do is help you empower your bounce back factor, and I just take little topics and talk about it. Okay, that work with y'all? So, if it's your first time joining, I just ask that you sit on down, take a seat, take your tea, listen in, let me know what you think. If this is the type of teaching that you enjoy, do me a favor, just like, share, subscribe. It takes 2 seconds for you to do, but it means the world to me. So that way, this information can continue to get out to those who like it and those who may need it. So let's not be greedy. Share, share, share. Uh, for my bi-weekly returnees, it is time for your bi-weekly fill up. So tell me what you think of tonight's topic, March Madness. All right, so give it to me, RCC. March Madness, what does that have to do with resiliency? Give me your thoughts on it. Really tell me what you think when it comes to resiliency and March Madness. I know. It's basketball season. I know y'all feeling in your brackets for your to fill in your March Madness. I get it. However, comma, give me your thoughts on what March Madness may have to do with your resiliency. So while y'all are doing that, I am going to try this one more time. And I don't know. Let's see. Oh, nope, that didn't happen. Let's go back. Lord. All right. I can hold it. It don't want to let me do nothing. I give up. I'm so sorry for my people that's on there. Okay, yeah, hold it down during the madness, because you know it's always gonna be madness in our life, right? I can attest to that on so many different levels, and I'm sure you can too, right, Lene? So what I'm thinking is, so let's break it down, right? I was told once that people misunderstand things because they don't break it down. So let's break it down. Yeah, like my little shoulder. We're gonna get our marching on. So whenever you're talking about marching into something, that's usually you gonna walk or you gonna proceed in a quick nature, right? You got a goal in mind, you're determined, you're gonna get there. So when you're talking about marching and then you're talking about madness, you put the two words together. Madness is what? Extreme foolishness. You like that right there, that's just that extreme foolishness. Or it could be something that's in a frenzy or a chaotic state. How many things in your life have you been like, that was just crazy? It was frenzied, it was all over the place, it was chaotic. That could be understood as chaotic. It could be understood as madness, right? Those things in your life, when you're talking about marching, the things that you have walked into rather quickly, the things that you have made a determination to get there rather quickly, and yet it ended up in madness. How many times have you looked at your life and you were like, that was a little insane. That was some madness, right? And what I mean by madness, when you are it's an experience, right? It's that overwhelming emotional distress that leaves us feeling isolated. And when you're isolated, you feel abandoned, you feel frightened, you feel helpless, you feel unloved, right? Or even unworthy, unseen, undeserving of love. These are all the things that go through your head when you are considering the madness that's going on in your life. And it may seem like a small thing to some, but to someone else, it is overwhelming madness, right? So in current stressors, most of the time, there's a deep-seated vulnerability that's associated with it. Now, hear me out. That can come from childhood. It can come from young adulthood. That can come from your teen years. It can even start in your adulthood. However, what falls underneath from the root that springs forth is comes forth is madness. And it erupts in our adulthood, and it overtakes us in our adulthood. So when we're thinking about it, so I was thinking at work, one of the questions that I ask the applicants, and I say, whenever you're looking for a new position, what is the most valuable thing to you when considering this new position? And so just think about it for a second. When you are thinking about the things in your life, what's the most valuable thing that you think of before going to the next step? Before what needs to be there in order for you to feel comfortable, for you to feel confident in taking the next step? And that could be anything. That could be relationships, that could be finances, that could be with children, that could be with having children, that could be with parenting, that could be with you name it. That's what it is. What is it that you need in order to get to the next step? That's what I want to know. And I just thought about something. I could probably get on there on the internet. And I want y'all to put it down there in the chat. Put in the chat, what are some things that you feel like you need in order to get to the next step? Whatever it is, you're like, these things need to happen in order for you to feel like there is no madness, in order for you to feel like it is, there is a place for it, in order for you to feel like you can make room in your life for it. So put it in the chat. Let me hear what you're thinking, because the reason why I say that is because I had my own things that I was like, this needs to happen. I want this. I want this. It's kind of like, ladies, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, if you're making a list for what you want a man to look like. Don't make it right, but it makes it real. That's the real deal. So yeah, we make a list of the things that we expect them to have. Men, I'm sure you probably make a list of what you want these ladies to be like before you will allow them into your inner circle. And I was just laughing to myself thinking about it, because we all have a list. But when I was thinking about the list for me, I was like, I want somebody, whoever I'm going to interact with, needs to be open-minded. They have to bring happiness. They have to bring joy, peace. They have to have loneliness, kindness, compassion. They have to be attentive. They have to bring about a certain sense of security. So the security is not always financial, but security meaning mental, emotional security. I feel safe with you in whatever realm I allow you in. Does that make sense? And so trust, emotional vulnerability. Emotional vulnerability is so big. If I cannot be open and honest with you, and I have to walk on eggshells about anything that I say or I want to do, I cannot be vulnerable with you. That limits the space that I allow you in. Mental stability. I can't deal with nobody that I'm like, I can't. You bring in this negative energy, keep it away from me. Willingness to forgive, because in relationships, in partnerships, with children, you have to learn to forgive, right? So let's see. I have no idea why it went straight back here. I tried, y'all. I tried. God, I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. Okay. So I don't see nothing else in the chat, so I'm gonna keep moving. So what about this? Whenever you're thinking about madness, what about the things that happen in relationships? Now, for those of you that are on, you are privy to this information, because everyone is not. I'll put it that way. So relationships, let's talk about them. Madness in relationships. Relationship scorecard. Every time you do something wrong, they are keeping track of it. They're like, yeah, you did this, so I'm gonna do that. It's that tick card, that passive aggressive. Every time you do something, like, well, I just did this because that passive aggressive energy, I can't. It bothers my soul. It bothers my soul. Um, so I'm thinking, um, if y'all, this is a a touchy thing, and I'm trying to be very vulnerable with it. Um, it's it's a little scary for me if I can be honest with y'all. That's what it is. Um, because it's been a touchy situation for me. It has. Uh, so I've been in emotional blackmail, which is another thing. I have been with not having good personal boundaries. So then that's where your partner is blaming you for their emotions. Um, and it is a tragedy. It affects your everyday, your movements, your emotions, how you interact with other people because um, you are afraid of what type of kickback you'll get in that relationship. Um, the display of loving jealousy. Y'all know what I mean by loving jealousy? Anybody know what that means? With loving jealousy. Hmm. Mm-mm. I don't know. I'm just trying to give y'all time to get on in here and give some comments at the same time. So that way I have the courage to say what I need to say. Um, Buying solutions to relationship problems. And one of those could be somebody that's buying you a car, they buying you jewelry, they taking you out to eat wherever, they buying you, they get married to you, right? Buying solutions to the relationship. I had a situation where I was dating a gentleman. Well, he wasn't really a gentleman. I was dating a dude. Let me just put it that way. And um, I found out he was married. So then I wanted to end the relationship. So I was like, okay, well then look, you didn't tell me you was married, so we done. The fact that I said that I was done caused a mental, emotional imbalance in his mind. So that put me at a place where he was stalking me. He had threatened my life. He had put a gun to my head multiple times, all because I said I didn't want to be in a relationship anymore once I found out the situation. And the only reason why this is so touchy for me is because it had put me at a place where I felt like my life was in danger, all because I ended up with a man who could not differentiate between what's real and what was made up in his mind that should happen. And so when I'm thinking about how this affected me on a mental, emotional level, my trust in people, in dating, has diminished so greatly. It has affected how I interact with men. Like I keep men at a with a long handle spoon because I don't allow them into my space because I don't feel like I can trust them, if that makes sense to anybody. But in order for me to heal from it, I have to say the madness that was in the relationship was from those 6 things I just said. Somebody that was had a relationship scorecard, they found a way to find out that I was wrong and I wasn't winning. Passive aggressive, um, emotional blackmail. What was the other one? Poor personal boundaries. They would feel like they could be in your space, going through your stuff, knowing what you're doing, why you're doing at all times, blaming you for the way that they feel instead of just owning their own emotions. that loving jealousy thing is such a scary thing, y'all. If you are in a relationship with somebody who feels like they have to um, control you, and they feel like they have to um, not allow you to wear this or say that or be this or be that, that's a form of manipulation. And even in that time, that was a place where I felt like maybe I don't know who I am. I thought I did until that happened, and then it changed. I mean, I had to go through an abuse. I had to go through a R letter word that ends in 8. Um, all of these things, all because there was madness in a relationship that wasn't healthy, that was toxic. And if at somewhere in there you understand or you sense that you have experienced that at some level in your relationships, please, 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 please run as fast as you can. All right. So just finished talking about madness in relationships, but what about madness in finances? Right? The madness in finances is, I heard one author described it as a unhealthy behavior that stemmed once again from childhood. Um, and so the thing that stemmed from childhood, it lingers into adulthood. So the inability to talk about money, compulsive spending, because I can only raise my hand to it because I understand it. Being in debt, the conviction of um, feeling like no amount of money can keep you secure. It's that ruthless self-measurement of terms of wealth. If you don't have this amount, you're not wealthy. If you're not doing this, you're not wealthy. And how many can admit to this type of madness? Like you kept telling yourself of the negative that was associated with money. If you didn't have it, if you wasn't making it, because then that's what society tells us we have to do. That's how society tells us we have to dress. That's how society tells us we need to drive. So then it all stems to this madness in either having money and you have to have it, or money is the root of all evil. So then you're not supposed to have it. And the poorest are the ones that are worthy, right? The amount of struggle, if you grew up in the ghetto, if you grew up in the hood, if you grew up in the trailer park, you understand what it means to not have the money. You understand what it means to not have the food. You know what it means to not have the water. You know what it means to not have the heat or the air. You know what it means. And so it changes how you view yourself. It changes how you view your descendants, those that are coming from you. It changes, right? Because then you're like, I need to make more money so that way my kids can have. I need to make more money so I can live over here. I need to make more money so I can drive this car. I need to make more money so I can go on this vacation. But what happens when you are brought up in a time to where every little bit of money you got, you had to spend because you don't know when you're going to get it again? It's kind of like having a hoarder, but the opposite effect, right? A hoarder will hold on to everything because they don't know when's the next time they're going to get something that nice, or they don't know when's the next time that they're going to be able to have that. So they keep it, they hold on to it. It has some form of sentimental value. If the newspaper had some word or some article that they wanted, instead of just clipping the article, they keep the whole newspaper. It's the opposite for those of us that have madness in finances. We like, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to have the money to go here, to go here, to go there, to go and do this. So then I'm gonna spend it. But you haven't budgeted for it, right? The struggle with finances is something that I can identify with, right? Because we as a people don't understand the value of budget, right? And I don't want to say the value of money, I want to say the value of budget. Because when you budget the money, you say this amount is allotted for this. So if you want to go on this trip, then that means you have to start to budget. At a certain time, it's going to take this amount I need to have money set aside for emergencies. I need to have money set aside to go on this trip. Once I get to the trip, I need to have spending money. So how much do I need total? Those are all things that most of us don't discuss because of our madness with finances that stem from our childhood. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm telling you, I ain't telling you nothing I ain't been through. You hear me? um, so I went through the John Ramsey class. I went through Primerica, and then I got a budget. Now, do I always stick to the budget? No, no, I don't. Y'all pray for me here. So the last one I really want to talk about, last point, number 3, is going to be madness in parenting. So compulsive anxiety when it comes to parenting. I'm telling you, I got enough friends that have kids. I do not have children. However, this is a topic that I talk about all the time. Parenting. So if you think about it, American parents are competing with each other, but then they're competing with India and China children. Why? You want your child to be smart. You want them to be intelligent. You want them to be well-rounded. So what do? You put your money into whatever passion they have at the time. They want to play basketball. You got them in basketball camp. They want to go do ballet. You go into every ballet recital. It don't matter how good or how bad they are. You're willing to put forth the money, the time, the energy, because you want them to find their passion, right? Because at some point in different cultures, they are not given the opportunity to find their passion, right? So then they are told, you are going to be a doctor. You are going to be a lawyer. You are going to be. So how many times has somebody told you what you're going to be, in essence, to try and tell you that that is what is necessary, right? And I mean, even if you know that someday they will never be what you're telling them they will be. For example, I have a godson. My godson was into boxing at one point. Then he was into football. Then he was but my bestie, she gonna make sure he got everything he needs to be successful. Let him figure out what his passion is. So same thing, he used to play drums. She just sold a drum set. Because at one point, that's all he wanted to do was play drums. Then he got tired of that. Now he wanted to do this. Now he wanted to do that. So now what she's doing is supporting him and saying, let's find out what you really love. Let's find out what you really want to do, right? And I mean, in essence, the madness behind it, emotionally, mentally, financially, does it not take a toll on you as a parent? I hear it all the time. Don't get kids, they too expensive. Don't do it. I'm like, dang. They like, don't do it. If you ain't got kids, don't get them now. Just forget it. Just get you a dog. It's okay. Go travel. Get you some godchildren. Go travel. You'll be fine. So it is really a thing where parents are in this madness phase of trying to make sure that their kids find out who they are. So then the parents are finding jobs where they can spend more time at home with their kids. They are rearranging their lives for their children. Am I saying it's a bad thing? Not necessarily. However, the madness comes, once again, going back to the definition, when it becomes extreme foolish behavior, when it becomes chaotic activity. You see what I'm saying? If what you're doing is being viewed upon as foolish because now you financially can't feed the rest of the household because, right? Or it's chaotic because you have other children to take care of, and one child or two children are now being put to the side. They're not getting the same amount of attention that they need. And so this can be viewed upon as madness. All I'm saying is march, and I'll talk about marching. March madness is the madness that we go through. What are you doing to march your way into talking to a subject matter expert? How many of us are ashamed to talk to somebody else that is smarter than us, that has more knowledge than what we do in order to get to where we need? We all have someone that can get us there. If I had not been through a traumatic situation, if I had not been with the word on the end of it, if I had not been taken advantage of mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, could I talk to a woman that had been through it? Can I talk to a man that has done it and express how it affects the woman? No. So there's just some things you have to go through, and you have to be wise enough to grow through, so that way you can still help someone else. Does that make sense? If I had not understood what it's like to be taken advantage of in relationship, would I be able to help someone who's going through a relationship that may or may not be viewed upon as toxic? Absolutely. Right? Could I talk to someone who has gone through finances and they don't know where their next meal is coming from? They don't know where they're going to lay their head. Guess what? If I got it, you got it, because I understand what it's like. I've been homeless and living in my car. I understand that. And because the madness, I may not have children, but I understand the closeness that I have with my friends that do have children. So I understand, because I'm the godparent to about 6 children. So I understand that. And so I really want you all to march yourself into finding a subject matter expert to help with your parenting, to help with your relationships, to help with your finances. I got contacts for all of that. If you really need it, I'm telling you now, this year, this month, find yourself someone that can get you the help that you need so you can grow. This is the year of growth. This is the year of being open and transparent. This is the time to do it. Guess what, y'all? We getting ready to hit that springtime. It's getting ready to be nice outside. What you gonna want to do? Spend money. You want to take your kids out and do this? Is it in the budget? You want to be in this relationship? Is it in the budget? Can you really take her there? Can you really go and eat that? Right? Let's talk about it. Let's really understand where we should be, how we should be. March yourself into better spending, into better parenting, into better relationships, whether they be intimate, friendship, partnership, or work ships, your ships. March yourself into becoming a better holistic person. So I have gone over my time, but then again, we started late because I could not get Instagram to act right. It's okay. It's okay. They can hop on over to YouTube or Facebook tonight. I'll find a way to get it there if I can. I really, really, really want you all to know I truly appreciate you letting me be transparent tonight. That was a little difficult for me, only because of the fear that was associated with it. So I was like, it's either fear over faith, and that ain't gonna happen. It's faith over fear. So I was like, let's go ahead and be transparent. Let's help someone else. So I do appreciate you all for allowing me that space to do so. So if you have enjoyed tonight's time with me, I really do appreciate you joining in on your Monday. And thank you so much for Royce for joining in. I appreciate you. Y'all make sure and tune in, because it's going to be some good stuff. I'm going to get him on the show. I'm going to get on his show real soon, real soon. And make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. This is going to be like this again in 2 weeks. I don't even know the date. What's 2 weeks? What's the date in 2 weeks, y'all? What's the date? Goodness, the 20th. Okay, there it is. On the 20th, we are going to be talking about Love Me, Love Me Not. Y'all already know. I don't even know what I'm wearing yet. It might be a whole flower dress. Love Me, Love Me Not. That is what we talked about on the 20th of March. Y'all come back. Y'all come back. Y'all come back. This is going to be so good, because I almost gave it to you. I was excited. So come back on the 20th, same time, same place, in the same space, 8:30 on the 20th of March. I love y'all. So until then, love, peace, joy, and happiness I send unto you. I cannot wait until you join me again. So I'll see y'all soon. I love y'all. Thank you, thank you. I wish I could I need somebody else to come over and do these things for me. See you soon. Love y'all.